Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Annette, and welcome to Travel on a Dime. I am super excited to be here with you today, and I am so grateful that you chose to subscribe or at least to visit my channel. My goal is to teach you how to become your very own travel agent. Now, I want to share something with you. My brother said to me a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week or so, he said, Annette, you know what? You're always traveling. You know so much about how to find deals, and you've been practically all over the world. I really think that you should blog about this. I gave it some thought, and initially I said, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't mind sharing what I know, here and there, but I know committing to a YouTube channel and providing information that is current, that is relevant and meaningful, that takes a lot of work. How do I know that? Because even in preparing my own travel journeys, I do a lot of research to make sure that I am making the right decision about where to lodge. I'm looking for free days that different historical sites may offer. I'm always searching for the right ticket prices and then making informed decisions about where I'm going to go and how long I'm going to stay. So that's not something that I just do sitting in one afternoon. It's something that I spend maybe a couple of days, 3 days doing, because I'm comparing various sites. And again, I want to make an informed decision about where I'm going. So what can you expect in this show? Again, you can expect me to teach you how to become your very own travel agent. But also, I'm going to share some of the places that I have traveled. And I hope that you get excited about that and that you see something or a place that perhaps you want to visit. Now, here's a little bit of history. My children, I have taken them all over the world practically. I started traveling with them when they were very young. So they've had passports since they were 6 or 7 years old. And so we have done the conterminous US as well as the contiguous US. We've done the Caribbean, Europe, Canada. I wanted them to have those experiences. And up to that point, up to 2011, my travels had always been with my children. So in 2011, I said, I want to do something for myself. I want to have a journey that is all about me and being in touch with me, getting to know me and spending some time with God and basking in the beautiful things that He made. Why was I thinking that way? Well, because like in life, I married, had children, divorced, became a single parent. And there are so many emotional things that you go through when you go through that or those things in life. And those things can reshape the way that you think or feel about yourself. And so for me to take a personal journey was an opportunity for me to, again, reconnect with self and define some goals, set some goals for myself. What is it that I want to do and where is it that I want to be, and to be able to listen to God undistracted by all of the other responsibilities that I have. So in 2011, I took my first international solo trip. I spent 6 glorious weeks touring Europe by train, by airplane. I enjoyed it all. I went to London. I took the train to Paris, then on to Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Italy. Then I flew to Ireland, Scotland, Wales. I had a grand time. And I have to admit that that changed me. How? Because I was able to experience the experiences of others who live abroad, but also it gave me an opportunity to think about my life and where I was in my life. And that all of the things that I desired to do, all of the places I remember thinking about when I was in 2nd and 3rd grade, like seeing the pyramids or visiting the Aboriginal people in Australia, all of those places, I said, these things are possible. And so I was so excited when I came back to the States and I said, this is me. This is who I am. The adventurous Annette, the Indiana Jane, so to speak, that person who wants to experience and share those experiences with others. And so now that I'm in this place of having toured well over 20 countries in Europe, Africa, Peru, you name it, I've been to several places. And it's all because of the glory of God. And I look forward to seeing more places and in sharing those things and my experiences with you. So, my very first show will be Why Travel? And we will explore, or I'll talk about why it is cathartic to travel. Even the planning process is very cathartic. As I think about it, I remember when I was 8 years old. That's when my parents introduced me and my siblings to international travel. And our first trip was to Mexico City. I enjoyed that immensely. And so the desire and the drive and the fire behind wanting to see more, it never died. So here I am today, 2026, standing in front of this camera, presenting this show to you. Other shows that I have in mind are preparation or preparing for your journeys. And that's not only choosing the right ticket, the right time of year or season, but looking at locale, checking the government websites to make sure that the area that you want to visit is not having unrest, challenging you to use hostels, and you know, if you are bold, just going off on the unbeaten path. I think too often we like to stick to the script and we want to see and do everything that everybody else is seeing and doing. And what I mean by that is everything that's in the book, you know, the textbook tour sites, that's what we do. But you can see some amazing things by just venturing out a little bit more and exploring. How do I prepare? I order books from various discount bookstores on the places that I want to visit. I read them, and here's a secret. Once I have gleaned everything that I want to glean from that book, I sell it back to the bookstore. So I make my notes, and if there's anything that's out of date, because I typically buy out of date books because they're cheap, then I can go online and research whatever is out of date. For instance, if a particular restaurant was recommended 2 years ago, I'll go online to see if that restaurant is still in business. And if it's highly recommended, then I'll pay them a visit. So there are ways to do this, and you're really not losing anything. We will also talk about registering with the STEP program, which is a federally sponsored program. I'll talk about free travels, working abroad, how you can exchange your skills and your talents for free room and board in countries like Switzerland, China, Japan. I'll also talk about being a courier. How for some businesses, if you commit to being a courier, a personal courier, they will not only pay you a salary to travel abroad, but they will also purchase your tickets, help you get your visa. But there are certain things that they require from you, which is having a valid passport, and you can't have any felonies. We will also, I hope to talk to some of the leaders of some of the consulates or some of the embassies and discuss some of the current events in various countries and so on and so forth. Traveling as an older person, what that looks like. Group traveling versus solo traveling, and much, much more. So again, this is just an introductory video to Traveling on a Dime. And I promise you, tell your friends, you're going to be so excited. You will want your friends to know about this, and you will learn so much and be empowered to just go see the world. We'll work through some of, our stereotypes and myths about other places, and you too will have this same zeal and fire to go. At least I hope you will. So please, please subscribe, tell your friends, join me in this journey. There is a journey coming up this summer, but you have to wait for it. And I plan to video that and talk about that excursion as well as another excursion that is coming up in December. So I thank you for joining me. Again, I'm Dr. Annette. This is Travel on a Dime. Have a great day.